Hello everyone, Funky Blood here, and today I will review the new Mata album called Young Matczak, or in Polish Młody Matczak, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I do not like this album. I think it's one of the worst things I have heard in quite a while. It's for quite a few reasons. One of them is Mata himself. His voice is awful all throughout it. I think it's acceptable when he actually slows down because he's not energetic, and when he's not doing that, he's either screaming awfully or rapping with a raspy voice also awfully, and it sucks. I guess people like this album for being a representation of some guys' tact and view on certain topics like the COVID lockdown and his grandpa's passing and weed and getting into a relationship, but I think it's just mostly incoherent, awful, just annoying tracks, just having a piece of shit on top of them. That's it. I mean, come the fuck on. Weed. The topic has been like dead since 2015. Some tracks I think have great production, most of them have just solid production, but the ones I think are great are like Skute Bobo and Skute Bobo. Skute Bobo has the best production. It actually sounds fun. The production by Phantom, who's worked with Kanye West, actually, sounds like something that might have come out of SoundCloud like 15 years ago, and it does sound fun, but Mata's performance on it sucks as usual. I guess Block has some good production as well, but the sentiment behind it just ruins the whole song for me. It's for neighbors who should appreciate the very annoying partying next to them and should ignore weed abuse or something. I don't know. It's awful in that regard. And I guess some of the more spacious tracks have good production. Now let's talk about references. I think references are great, but not on this album. And that's because he references Scooby-Doo, Kanye West, and specifically Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, for some reason, Tabaluga, yeah, and also money, sex, weed, and Baby Yoda. And guess what? The track 67 for 10 is about. It's about saying goodbye to his dead grandpa. In actually a good way. And the track after that is about a minute of silence. How wonderful. That's what I like. Inconsistency. Very fun. Because when he isn't rapping about kids shows, money, getting laid, and doing just random bullshit, he is going to say goodbye to his dead grandpa. On the very same album, he raps about Baby Yoda. How amazing. Speaking of amazing, Patoreaction is one of the worst things I have ever heard. There are so many awful things about it, and the music video for it is actually even worse. Or maybe not. Who knows? The only good thing about it is Tomasz Matczak, who is a narrator for many Polish shows, and he is awesome as usual. He has a very specific deep voice and he is great here. Matczak gives a very raspy and awful performance as usual, and he makes so much dumb jokes. It like rivals Kanye West's worst moments of any album of his, and not just Patoreaction, but all throughout this record can hear very cringy lines. And speaking of cringy, the music video, as I said, is full of that. Like this moment, and 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 also this moment, and this moment. And my god, is it fucking awful. I cannot stand it, and I am honestly gonna give that song a 0 out of 10. And one of the weirder things about it isn't really a music video for it, but some of the like family abuse things about it are just retarded as hell, and makes me love it even more. Honestly, it sucks so bad, I do not recommend it for anything. Fucking hell, even talking about it just gives me a headache. Also, I'd like to talk about We Don't Know Who Did This Beat. If it's you, please DM us, we have money. Skit is also one of the worst moments on this album, and it's not because it's a song, but because it's like a makeout session while Playboy Cardi is playing in the background, I think, and it is super bad. It's just simple and unfunny. I don't have that much to say about any other track here. They just melt together into just bad singing, solid production, bad lyrics. I don't give a shit. And I'm going to give this album a 2.3, 3, and 3. This was one of the worst albums of the year, and one of the worst albums in a while. I haven't heard the new Imagine Dragons album yet, but I think that will honestly be a better experience than listening to almost every part of this album, honestly. Even the production can be great at times, but it is not worth a listen in any way. Oh my god, do not listen to this album if you aren't Polish, because if you are Polish, you'll just think it's just some random album the kids are listening to, and unfortunately they are. But if you aren't Polish, you'll just think even worse of our country, because it is like because it's just as bad as like Suicide Squad. Yeah, or Justice League 2017, something like that. Yeah. Video over.